Hello, everyone. Those of you who are watching this later on outside of class, we have a short presentation before we start today. I have Jacqueline Napoleon here, who is with the Rockefeller College at the University of Albany, is going to talk a little bit about grad school programs related to politics. Yes?
Public administration and international affairs. Yep.
And politics. Okay. Can you guys hear her okay? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let me see if I can do that here. I thought I had it up pretty high before. Is this any better? Can you turn your volume? Do you have a microphone that you can turn your volume up?
Mine?
Is that better?
I can try. Is that better?
Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
Okay.
So that they don't hear me. So go ahead and.
Okay. So am I good to go? Am I good? Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for giving me a few minutes to crash your class. Initially, it might sound like, wait, what programs is this person talking about? So one of the first things I'll start out with is keep an open mind, because the degrees that I'm going to talk about are incredibly versatile and apply to a lot of different areas. And there's no one major that fits with these kinds of programs. So I want to sort of start with that. As Arlene said, I am Jacqueline Napoleon. I'm the Director of Graduate Admissions for the Rockefeller College of Public Affairs and Policy at the University at Albany. So SUNY Albany, not terribly far away in the great state capital. And I'm going to just briefly go over a couple of the graduate programs that we offer here at UAlbany at the Rockefeller College, and ones that we actually have a cooperative program with Potsdam. And so it is a really great opportunity for you to maybe think a little bit about graduate school in general, and maybe some degree programs perhaps you hadn't previously thought about. So the beauty of the programs I'm about to talk about is it allows you to go out and make an impact on the world. So whether you are a political science major, a psychology major, a sociology major, an English major, a business major, I mean, it doesn't matter. These kinds of degrees are really well suited to students from all backgrounds. And it's really more about, do you want to change the world? Do you want to make an impact? Do you want to be part of making government better? Or do you want to be part of making policy more effective? Do you want to be part of advancing human rights? Do you want to be someone who allows people, children, adults, everyone in between to be able to have better education, better health policy, better access to the things that they need? And that's really what these degrees do. So I'll sort of start with that. Think a little bit about, okay, how do I want to make an impact in the world? And perhaps a degree like this could be an opportunity to do that. So really what these professional degrees do is they prepare students to go on and work in the public sector. So that could be local government, state government, federal government, nonprofit organizations. I'm sure lots of you have done, whether it's community service or something with different nonprofit organizations. It's a perfect degree to work in that capacity. For students who are interested in working in international affairs, whether you want to join the Peace Corps eventually, or you're interested in being part of cooperation between countries, or you really just want to be able to get water access to people who can't access it in Southern Africa. There are so many different ways you can utilize these degrees, and they're very interdisciplinary. So whatever your current major is or interests are, you can complement the degree with what you're doing, whether that's something in social work, education, criminal justice, social, public health. There's so many different areas that you can complement these kinds of degrees. And being a professional degree, it's all that you need. So it's one of those things that it's an incredibly good alternative to law school, because the market is considerably better. And it's a shorter time to finish the degree, and you have professional skills and an ability to jump right into the workforce, because the degrees prepare you to do that. So they really do allow you to not only get all of the classroom preparation you have, but they also have internship requirements. And so pretty much every single one of our students has a job, but either by the time they graduate or shortly thereafter. So in terms of marketability, there is no better. This salary goes up pretty significantly by completing an MPA or an MIA. We're a fellow SUNY school, so sort of the cost is a great choice. And as I mentioned, these programs have internship requirements. So all of you, mostly paid, will have done sort of real world experience in different aspects of whether it's government or international work, nonprofits, et cetera. And so you work really closely, not just in the classroom with faculty, but you get that professional work. And here we are in the state capitol. So there are so many opportunities for you to be able to learn about the public sector, learn what opportunities are out there, everything from environmental conservation to, museum archives, to politics and everything in between. And so what our students, we want them to be passionate about, as I said, making a difference in the world. And you can focus that in a lot of different ways. So this is just a brief curriculum overview of the program. So the Masters of Public Administration and the Masters of International Affairs, they're each a 2-year program when done, sort of after you graduate undergrad and go into grad school. I'll talk in a minute about the combined program we have at Potsdam. But the kinds of things that you can focus in are you're really interested in analyzing policy. You're really interested in figuring out how to manage people. You want to start your own nonprofit to give access to whatever it may be to whatever population you choose to work with. Perhaps you had an experience as a kid growing up wherever you may have that made you really want to make sure you gave back and made an impact. And that's what these degrees do. And it could be, like I said, domestically or internationally. We have students who go into diplomacy, into international development. Students really are able to go make a difference and take the professional skills they use, take the classroom experience they use, know how to analyze data to make decisions to really truly make an impact. And so it's core courses that you all have to take, as well as electives. And as I said, that's where you can really make the program your own in terms of focusing in the things that are most exciting to you. The internship, as I said, professional level internship, working in the field. It can be here in Albany. It can be New York City. It can be abroad. It can be in Washington, D.C. There's no limit on where your internship can be. So if any of you have thought a little bit about I kind of want to go out and do something interesting, but I don't know what exactly that is. These are the kinds of degrees that can prepare you for that. And then you do kind of a final reflection of the program at the end. So this is sort of I think a nice slide that just sums up a few of the places our students have interned or worked. And it's a really good example because it covers so many different things. So even if you're still wondering okay, what exactly does it mean to work in the public sector? What are the things that students are doing? Well, they're working for congressmen and women, they're working for senators, they're working for mayor's offices. So they're working, deep in politics, but they're also working in other levels of government, whether that's the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Department of State, the New York State Division of the Budget, Department of Health, Department of Environmental Conservation. There are so many different levels of government students can work, and you can be part of analyzing policy, of being part of making policy more efficient. You learn how to write really well, to take really difficult, complex policy and make it more palatable. But you can also work in the legal field. As I mentioned, this is a really great alternative to students thinking about law school. You can work in any level of typically public interest, social justice law, and do a lot of the similar things a traditional lawyer would without actually being a practicing lawyer. We have students who work for the United Nations. We have students who work for nonprofits, as I mentioned, like the Red Cross, Legal Aid, Habitat for Humanity. So they really are degrees that prepare you to go out and work with organizations, work within governments to make them better, more efficient, and hopefully serving the public in a more meaningful way. So the degree we have with Potsdam, it allows you to start graduate courses during your senior year and then come to us after you graduate and you've sort of accelerated your program. So rather than taking 2 years, it'll take 1.5 years. You've got a full semester done because you'll apply at the end of your junior year, and you can take up to 3 to 4 classes your senior year. And you're taking those as well at the undergraduate tuition rate. Some of you probably know that the graduate tuition rate is almost twice the undergraduate tuition rate. So you're saving thousands of dollars by doing a combined program like this, because you're able to take the 3 to 4 classes at basically half the price. They're taken online. So that's the other thing. You don't have to leave Potsdam your senior year. You can still take the courses you need for your undergrad, take your grad courses with Albany. They double count. So they're counting toward both your undergraduate and your master's degree. You graduate from Potsdam and then you join us as a fully matriculated graduate student, having accelerated your program by a full semester. So as I mentioned, end of junior year is typically when I recommend students apply. So if you're a junior and suddenly put a light bulb on, this is what I want to do, you still have a couple of weeks to apply. So by all means, feel free to do that. If you are a senior and you're graduating, that's okay too, because you can also still apply. And you can apply really up until about June 15th, and we're still accepting students for the fall semester. This says May 1st for juniors. Like I said, we've sort of extended that a little bit. I think we'll probably end up going to about May 15th. So by all means, if you're thinking about doing this, please do so in the next couple of weeks. All the requirements are sort of similar to a traditional application. We do waive the application fee for you. And as I said, if you're a senior this year thinking about this fall, or perhaps you're a junior and thinking, I don't necessarily want to do a combined degree, but I'll apply next year, you can certainly do that as well. So there's a lot of different timelines in terms of when, but for those of you who are, sophomores thinking about early, juniors, you're right when you can apply. Seniors, you can still apply for this fall, but then we also take students, of course, for every fall and spring semester. So you've got opportunities in which to apply. So it's a very brief overview. I didn't want to take up too much of your class time, but I did want to make sure that as many students as can be reached are reached, because again, these degree programs are incredibly versatile, incredibly marketable. They really do allow you to go out and make an impact on the world. So if any of you are either undecided or haven't, thought necessarily a lot about graduate school, or you've thought about graduate school and you just weren't sure what kinds of programs are out there, to sort of do what it is that you want to do, because like I said, there's no one major required. This is such a versatile program. So we encourage students to consider these kinds of programs, no matter what their major is. We really want students to think about ways they can do good in the world and, sort of leave it better than you found it. And that's really what our invitation to you is. And that's why I wanted to share some information about these programs. So I'll send these slides to you as well, Arlene, if that's okay. And then that way students can have them to reference, and you're welcome to reach out to me at any point. So I don't want to take up too much more time, but if there's any questions at all, I'm happy to take one or two questions.
I'm just trying to get myself back to host so I don't lose you.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Well, thank you for coming to visit our class, and I will have this uploaded on our Brightspace. And what I will also do is clip that presentation and probably put it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. That sounds great.
So that students can see that. So
awesome.
Anyone who's interested in this program, you can let me know and I will get in touch with Jacqueline and we'll get you hooked up.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.